The story begins in a brutal prison in Spain, where prisoners were treated worse than animals. But one day, the leader of the inmates, Malamadra, started a rebellion against the system. In the middle of all this, a new prison guard named Oliver arrived. His shift was supposed to start the next day, but he showed up early to impress his seniors. Little did he know, his very first day would be a nightmare. When Malamadra saw the keys in a guard's hand, a part of the roof suddenly collapsed, falling straight onto Oliver's head. Malamadra had hidden a thin steel wire in his mouth and used it to silently unlock his handcuffs. As soon as the guard got close, Malamadra strangled him with the same cuffs. Oliver wasn't alone. Another guard dragged him in his cell 211, but by then, Oliver had already passed out. Meanwhile, chaos broke loose. The prisoners broke the locks, set fire to the corridors, and took over the jail. The guards outside debated whether to save Oliver or not, but they left him behind fearing they'd all get killed. Oliver lay unconscious while screams and chaos echoed through the prison. The prison director, watching all of this through CCTV, didn't know what to do. He tried to figure out Malamadra's true intentions. Soon, one of Malamadra's men found Oliver lying there. Thinking he was just another inmate, he slapped him awake and asked questions. Oliver didn't answer, so the man locked the cell and left. That's when Oliver realized he was stuck in the middle of a prison riot. He acted fast. He flushed his shoelaces and wallet, hid his belt, and got ready to pretend to be a prisoner. Just as he was about to take off his wedding ring, the cell opened again. This time, they took him to Malamadra. Staying calm, Oliver lit a cigarette and confidently lied. "I just got here today. A guard beat me up." Malamadra was suspicious at first because Oliver looked too innocent. But Oliver replied sharply, "You some kind of psychic or what?" This boldness impressed Malamadra. Still unsure, he asked Oliver to take off his pants to prove he was a prisoner, since inmates aren't allowed to wear underwear. Lucky for Oliver, he didn't wear any. That convinced Malamadra. Then the inmates started smashing the CCTV cameras. Oliver knew this would cut off his only connection to the outside. So he shouted, "Wait, let's leave one camera so we can communicate our demands." Malamadra liked the idea. To gain trust, Oliver himself went to cover the cameras with cloth, but did it in a way that made sure his face was clearly visible to the CCTV, so the control room could identify him. Now only Oliver and the control room staff knew he was actually a guard. Still suspicious, Malamadra took him to the guard who had the keys earlier and asked, "Is this the guy who beat you?" Both men denied knowing each other to stay alive. Meanwhile, the director called in the special forces. They were told, "Don't negotiate, just attack and regain control." But then came a shock. The prison held 3 high-profile political prisoners, and their deaths could start nationwide riots. The media had already caught wind of the riot. Malamadra had already taken control of those 3 prisoners and even informed the director via CCTV. Now the prisoners had even more power. The director realized things were out of hand. A negotiator was called in. Malamadra's past was dug up. He led a rebellion 10 years ago and killed a guard. Since then, he was the unofficial boss of the prison. Malamadra asked Oliver to help write their demands. Improve prison conditions. Allow family visits every 15 days. Give proper medical care to inmates. Oliver agreed these were fair. Impressed by Malamadra's leadership, he started bonding with him and even shared a fake backstory about taking revenge on a drug dealer who killed his brother. The negotiator entered. Oliver cleverly passed him the location of the hostages during a fake search and then handed over their demands. The negotiator agreed and promised to come back with food as requested by Malamadra. Also, Oliver asked for permission to talk to his pregnant wife. The negotiator agreed to take him out briefly. Malamadra agreed, but warned, "If anything happens to Oliver, you'll answer for it." Just then, screams echoed from inside. Two prisoners had fought. One was badly injured. The Special Forces commander, watching via CCTV, assumed someone important had died and ordered an attack. Oliver realized this would lead to a bloodbath. He rushed to show the three political hostages on CCTV to prove things were still under control. The commander halted the attack. Oliver's smart thinking saved everyone, for now. But Malamadra was uneasy. How could a new guy become a hero so fast? To shift suspicion, Oliver publicly gave credit to Malamadra, saying he was only following orders. The inmates celebrated both men. Still, rumors spread that the political prisoners were dead. Outside, Oliver's wife Elena saw the news on TV. Terrified, she tried calling him, but the number was out of reach. Eventually, a colleague lied and said Oliver was working in another branch. Elena knew something was wrong. She rushed to the prison, joining the crowd of families outside. Inside, Malamadra told stories over lunch. Oliver quietly stole the walkie-talkie from his chair and contacted his colleague to let Elena know he was safe. The colleague promised everything was arranged. Meanwhile, the prisoners saw the live protests on TV. Malamadra decided to negotiate again, but couldn't find his walkie-talkie. Oliver returned it, saying he'd hidden it to keep it safe, which made sense. But Apache, another inmate, saw everything from the balcony. He secretly contacted a guard he knew. Turns out Apache was a spy for the authorities, and he quickly found out who Oliver really was. Outside, things turned violent. Guards began beating protesters, including Elena, who was hit and fell. The cameras captured everything. Inside, when the TV signal was cut, prisoners grew furious. Malamadra demanded a list of the injured. Oliver asked about his wife, and they lied that she was fine. Apache approached and threatened to expose Oliver unless he followed orders. But Oliver shot back. "I may have lied once, but you've been betraying your own people for years." Apache was stunned. Soon, the prison authorities suspended Utriella, the guard who hit Elena. But it was only to protect him, not punish him. Back inside, Malamadra told Oliver, "I'll take the blame. Say you helped me under pressure. You'll get a lighter sentence and be with your baby soon." Then came the real list of the injured, and it included Elena. Oliver was crushed. He watched the video of her beating over and over. Angry and betrayed, he demanded Utriella be sent inside. The authorities agreed, fearing for the hostages' lives. Once inside, Malamadra cornered Utriella, and Oliver confronted him with the video. When Utriella avoided his eyes, Oliver snapped and beat him. Then he demanded to speak to his wife, but it was too late. He was told Elena and their unborn baby had died. Broken, Oliver wept on Malamadra's shoulder. Furious, Malamadra ordered everyone to beat Utriella, but Utriella shouted, "Why are you defending him? He's a guard. Everyone was shocked, but Oliver didn't care anymore. He killed Utriella in front of everyone. Grief-stricken, he went to cell 211, found his hidden belt, and tried to end it all, but failed. On the wall, he saw a note from a past prisoner who died from a headache. Oliver realized that man's pain is now his own. He let go of his past. From that point on, he became the real prisoner of cell 211. Others started suspecting him, but Malamadra believed, guard or not, Oliver was now one of them. Eventually, the government sent a high-ranking official to negotiate. Most demands were accepted. Just as he started explaining, Oliver dragged Utriella's body in front of the camera and said, "I killed him." He demanded the Prime Minister appear on TV and confirm their deal. Oliver had become a true part of the rebellion. Malamadra stood with him. Meet our demands or collect the bodies. But then the prison authorities made a dirty move. They told Malamadra that if he killed Oliver, they'd reduce his sentence. They even showed him Oliver's real file. Malamadra was shaken but didn't betray him. Instead, he handed Oliver a knife and said, "I'll fight with you." But Apache leaked the hostage's location. Special forces prepared to strike. Suddenly, the prison TVs came back on, showing news that all prisoner demands were accepted. Everyone celebrated, but it was a trap. As prisoners partied, Apache killed the guards watching the hostages and took over. Smoke bombs filled the prison. Oliver figured it out and told Malamadra, "Kill the hostages now, or everything will be lost." But before they could act, someone shot Oliver with a nail gun. Malamadra rushed to him, but the wound was fatal. Apache shouted, "Both leaders are dead." The prisoners surrendered. Malamadra stood silently. Then Apache shot him from behind. Still, Malamadra tried to fight, but Apache shot again. He fell. Special forces regained control of the prison. Oliver died in pain. His colleague came to identify the body in cell 211. Inside, he found only a wedding ring. Oliver was a good man, but society took everything from him. In the end, he chose to die as a prisoner, not live as a guard. If you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.